G'day everyone, welcome back to another video. We are coming to you from the beautiful Caravan Gorge, but that's not what this video is about. That one is coming up soon though. It's been unreal here, staying at the beautiful Sandstone Park. This video though, we're going to be covering off a couple of mods that we've done to our caravan. So since we bought our new van, there's been a few things that we had on the old van that we wanted to put on this one. So some things we've tried before that we know work well, and a few new ideas as well. So in this video, we're going to be covering off how to protect your windows from scratches. The soft windows that are on your camper trailer or your caravan are very susceptible to scratches. So how we protect those. We're going to tell you all about our new table that we've been using, and a lot of you have been really interested in how that table's going. It's a new table leg design that allows us to swing the table out of the way in the van and create a heap more space inside our van, which has been really, really good. But we're going to tell you all about that, the installation, the pros and cons. As well as that, we're going to be taking you through our solution for security for the van. We've done a security upgrade to the caravan that also simplifies life on the road by minimizing the amount of keys we've got. So we've actually done a heap of mods to the van since we got it. Like I said, some of them that we've tried before and used before and that we know work well, like the window protection, our savvy level, the stone stomper, things like that. And some new ideas that we've got as well. Like I said, some new stuff for security, some new products that we're going to be testing out, like our cowfish internet system, a new water filtration system, as well as our desal. All those videos are coming up. Let us know, what are you most keen to see? I know a lot of you are waiting to see the desal system, and so are we. Don't worry about that. I just haven't honestly been able to find the time to get it installed, and obviously we're in outback Queensland at the moment, so we haven't needed it, but that is coming up, as well as all those other products that we've been testing out and using. Let us know, what are you keen to see? What would you like to see an install video on or a review on? If you do enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, we would really appreciate that, and that would mean that YouTube will let you know when we release videos, so all the awesome content that we got planned will be coming straight to you. That sounds good to me. All right, let's dive into it. Alrighty, so window protection. So 2 years ago when we first bought our Zone caravan, we knew that the windows, like all caravans and RVs, were going to be really susceptible to damage from tree branches and scratches from cleaning, as well as stone impact or anything like that. So we wanted to make sure that we protected the windows, because we'd read a lot of Facebook groups and owners groups and things like that where everyone was asking, how do I get these scratches out of my windows? And it's extremely difficult, if not impossible, to get those scratches out once they're there, because there's not a lot you can do to restore these soft perspex or polycarbonate windows. So at the time I was thinking, how am I going to protect our windows from these scratches? Because I knew what we were going to do with that caravan and where we were going to take it, and it was inevitable that we were going to get some tree branches and things like that rubbing down the side of the van. So I'd seen this stuff called PPF film, or paint protective film, that they use to protect paintwork on vehicles. And I thought, what if we put that same stuff onto the caravan windows? It's extremely tough. It's completely clear. It's really, really resistant to any scratches. If it does get scratches in it, it actually self-heals when it gets any heat on it. So just from any direct sunlight, those light scratches will heal. You can also use a hairdryer or a heat gun to heal those scratches. So I thought, what if we could put that on caravan windows? So I rang Maddie at Bushwrapz, who does the film for cars, and I said, hey Maddie, could we do something for these caravan windows? She'd never done it before, but we thought, let's use our caravan as a bit of a test pilot. So we got the film cut for the windows, put it onto our Zone caravan windows, and tested it out for the last 2+ years. Now, we only sold that van a few months ago, and the windows when we sold it did not have a single scratch on them, despite everything that we'd done with the van. And it's not just from going down tight bush tracks and things like that, although that is a big part of it, is where we get the scratches from. But even in caravan parks and things like that, when you're trying to turn around a tight corner, it's inevitable sometimes that you just get some vegetation rubbing down the side, and that's all it can take. We've seen plenty of people in van parks that have damage their windows from doing exactly that, and there's not much you can do. As I said, once you've scratched those windows, they are scratched. Okay, so what we've been able to do now with Bushwrapz is we've teamed up, and what I mean by teamed up is we went to Maddie and said, hey Maddie, I think we've stumbled across something here. I think this is a really great product, and there's definitely a need for it out there, because we've spoken to so many people over the last couple of years who've seen what we've done with ours and have asked, how can we get that done for ours? Where can we buy this? You know, we want to do the same thing to our van, and it just isn't available on the market. So what we've done is we've worked with Maddie to release a DIY kit so that you can install the film on your own own caravan, camper trailer, RV, whatever it might be that has this style of window. So at the moment we have two ranges available, the Eurovision windows, which are on our old Zone that we templated, and now these Ranger windows that are on our new Titanium. So what that means is that you can order this kit, you order per window, so you measure up your window size. We've already allowed all the tolerances and everything you need to worry about to make sure you're getting the right window size. If you just measure to the outside of the window, top and bottom, you will get the sizing there. Plenty of soapy water, apply the film, and then squeegee out the water. Now, you will find that there might be a few little bubbles and things like that afterwards. Don't stress too much about a few small bubbles. They will come out by themselves over time, over the next few days and weeks, a lot quicker if you leave the van out in the sun and there's direct sunlight on the window. If you do want to see installation videos and things like that, we will be releasing some soon, but there's plenty of information on the Bushwrapz website. There will be a link down there below, and we've also included our discount code there for you guys as well, so you get 10% off across the entire range of PPF caravan windows. Once you've got that installed, then it is just as simple as heat sealing the edges. So a little bit of heat applied with a hairdryer or a heat gun around the edges just to make sure they're sealed nice and tight against the window, and job done. You don't have to worry about that for at least 5 years. They'll last on there and protect your van protect your caravan windows completely against all scratches. I'd be extremely surprised if you ever did anything that scratched enough to get through that film. It is super tough, like I said, and people use it on their cars all the time, and it works really, really well. And it doesn't affect the view from inside the van at all. You can't even tell it's there. Even from outside the van, it's very, very difficult to detect that the film's even on there. I mean, you can see how dirty this window is. Normally, if you rubbed even just the dust on a window like that, it would scratch the window underneath, just really light, fine scratches that even those really light scratches are almost impossible to remove. This completely protects it against any damage like that. You could rub this with a screwdriver, with, you know, if you go and look at Maddie's Bushwrapz videos, the stuff they do this film and it holds up against is insane. At the end of the day, we spend tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on these caravans and campers. And the last thing you want to be doing when you're out there enjoying the beautiful bush and looking at all that beautiful scenery that's around you is be staring through scratches in your windows. So for a relatively inexpensive protection kit to be able to protect these windows, we think it's an absolute no-brainer. We're so proud to be bringing this to the market, and we're so excited to see what you guys think. So leave us a comment below. What do you think of our window protection kits? Would you put one on yours? If you are interested in one, there's a link in the description below, and like I said, that discount's there available to you all as well. So get in there and check it out. If you've got any questions, don't feel free. If you've got any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Don't be afraid to ask any questions or anything like that. We're happy to help you as much as we can. And as I said, there will be more window brands becoming available over the coming months. So if yours isn't listed there just yet, just send us an inquiry through the Bushwrapz. Just send us an inquiry through the Bushwrapz website. Did I say it right then? Just send us an inquiry through the Bushwrapz website and let us know what brand of caravan windows you've got, and we'll let you know as soon as they're available. If you're unsure about what brand of windows you've got in your caravan, camper, whatever it might be, the best thing you can do is reach out to the manufacturer of your caravan or camper and find out from them what windows were used in your build, because I can't even tell you exactly we can't tell you, because even say Titanium have used over time a couple of different window brands. Most manufacturers use different window brands for different campers and things like that. So the best way is to ask your manufacturer what brand of windows were used in your build. All right. Table. This is our Swingaway table leg that we installed a couple of months ago. So what we might do is I'll just cut back to when we installed it and show you guys how we installed it and why and how we figured it all out. And then we'll come back and I'll let you know what we think of it after the last couple of months of use.
You're a bloody genius, Dale. What are you doing?
Don't call me a genius until it works. How many times have I got to tell you? Okay, so we're going to try and get this table leg sorted out. We've got a different style of table leg to the telescopic one we had in the last van, and that's what Titanium normally fit to their vans, but we're not a big fan of them because they're just not great. They're heavy, they're bulky, they're bloody ugly, and they're a bit of a pain in the ass to use. And I'm thinking if you don't want to be able to make this into a bed, which is really the only advantage to those telescopic ones that I can see, then this is, I reckon, a better option. Right, yeah, so this is the leg style we're going to go with. So it's made up of 4 pieces. You've got the base plate or the bracket that I've just temporarily clamped on there, the post, the arm, and then the plate that mounts to the table itself. Now this can all rotate 360 degrees. So it's got 2 pivot points, but the other cool part is it's all easy to disassemble. So where this drops onto that bracket down there, just has a quick release, almost like a push bike's front axle. So you can release that, take this whole thing out with the table on it, remove it, put it on the bed, take it outside, whatever you want to do. This arm comes off the post as well. They all just are on quick release, and obviously the tabletop with the bracket, that's screwed to the tabletop, so that would come off with the tabletop and Bob's your auntie. So for travel, we can either screw these up really tight, lock them off, and I reckon there's no chance of it moving. But what we're more than likely going to do is just undo this one or this one, take the whole table off and stick it on the bed. Mainly on the rough roads, I would say, but we'll see how it goes. Big advantages to this for us is just how much open space it creates, because the leg isn't mounted to the floor, it's mounted to the side of the bench seat cabinetry. So it just opens up the floor massively. It gives us a heap bigger range of movement for the table, and a lot more flexibility. And we've even got ideas to put a second set of legs on the tabletop, so that when you take this bit out, you can take the whole thing outside, and it's got a second set of legs and becomes an outside table as well, which we think will be pretty brilliant. We may never do that, it's just an idea, but you never know. We'll see how it goes. I'll leave a link for this below. Most things I talk about in this video, I'll leave links below. Go and check it out and see if you think it'd suit your next van build. Titanium didn't want to install this. We didn't actually really want them to, because I think they would have just chucked it in wherever they thought. Whereas we're going to spend some time now figuring out exactly where we want to put it to suit our needs. And we're hoping it's going to be able to swing out over the east-west bed as well, and give us a little bit of a desk for when I'm in bed working, or just somewhere to stick the laptop when we're watching Netflix or movies of a night time. Yeah, I think it's going to be really good. So yeah, Titanium just said, how about we just supply you the tabletop, you buy the leg, which we bought this ourselves. I think they're about $300, and then we can put it wherever we want. So that's what we're doing. So first things first is just to work out where it's going to sit. So let's do that. The other advantage to these is I'm pretty sure these are a fair bit lighter than those telescopic legs. I'll have to look up the figures to figure that out, but I think this is only about 6 kilos, something like that, 5 or 6 kilos. I think those telescopic ones are a bit heavier, but that wasn't the main consideration. It was really just about the extra flexibility it's going to give us. All right, so the table has to go here. Now, because of the arm we've got, it can't actually move in and out or side to side without moving around a radius.
Yeah, so it's going to move like a circle, in a circle motion.
So the problem will be, or the challenge to overcome, is if Liz was sitting like that and wanted the table closer to her, it would also come closer to me, or vice versa. If Liz wanted it further away from her, it also moves further away. Whereas the old style we had, the telescopic table, it slid left, right, forward, back, but then obviously was more limited in its movement. So the pro is we've got more range of movement, but the con is we're going to have, it's just a bit more of a head spin to get it in the right spot.
The right spot.
Which is one of the reasons that I didn't get Titanium to install this, because we'd rather put it where we want it than where they sort of thought was best. Okay, so to get this bracket in the right spot that it's going to get the table to do what we want and move where we want, I'm not going to just commit and bolt this bracket on. I'm going to clamp it on, and then we're going to do a bit of a test and see how it goes. I've also had to put an extra block in behind, you can see behind the bracket, because the couch cushions actually overhang this bit of cabinetry a little bit, and if I don't put that block in, the leg will rub against the cushion. So I've just got a bit of off-cut apply here. I'm just going to put that same black edge banding around this as what I'm going to put around the surround around the dishwasher when I get to that. So that'll all be black. It'll blend in with the bracket. You won't even notice it. So yeah, for now we're just clamped it on there with these quick grip clamps, just so I can test it, put the leg on, and check its rate of movement. It's a little bit tricky to figure out because it's got a radius. The tabletop doesn't actually slide on the mount like the telescopic ones do. It basically swings around a circle. So it's just a bit of a head spin trying to figure it all out with maths. So I'm going to just do it as a prototype test run. Yeah, so that's about the gist of it. That'll go around and around like that. So what we want to do, we want to mount it as high as we can so that it clears the bed, because it's got a fair bit of movement, a lot more movement down than it does up. So mount that bracket right at the top to give us maximum height, which is about where it is now. And that way, when I swing it over towards where you are, which is where the bed is, it'll clear the bed. It might not clear enough, I don't think, to get our legs under it, like our feet under it, but yeah, it will clear the bed at least. It's the best we can do.
Just lining it all up.
Yeah.
So the other advantage of this table is we're going to be able to get it at bench top height as well. So we'll be able to use it as extra prep space when we're cooking, which is going to be unreal, I reckon. So just so much more versatile than one of those telescopic legs.
Table. So the table's going to get mounted through this main plate that mounts on the side of the cabinet with these M8. They're M8 countersunk bolts, so they're a Allen key countersunk bolt. So they'll drop in there, fit in there nicely, look nice and neat. So I'm just going to get that all positioned up, drill the holes for that. Bit nerve-wracking, drilling big holes, but drill those holes, get that mounted up, and then I'm going to put some reinforcement in the back of it as well, just to brace up the cabinetry, to make sure it stays where we put it and doesn't cause any damage, especially when the kids jump on it and hang off it and all those cool things that kids do.
All right, tell everyone what's happened there.
Oh,
I've had a mishap with the table.
Major rookie error. It's 2 steps, 2 steps, 1 step, 4 steps, 8 steps.
I think what Simon's trying to say there is 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
That's what I'm saying.
We've just come up across a little hiccup. I'll let Simon explain.
It wasn't a hiccup, it was a balls up. So, just one of those simple jobs that's just become not simple. So the idea was, in my brilliance and wisdom, I thought I'll try and get this table leg bracket as high up on this cabinet bench seat as I can. So I cut out a bit of this plastic so I could get it nice and high. Not really thinking that then when those bolt holes go through, obviously they're hard up against this piece of ply, so I can't get a nut onto them. So now I'm faced with that choice of, do you cover up your balls up and move it, or do you just keep rolling with it? I think we need to keep rolling with it, mainly because we do want to keep that leg as high as we can, because it gives us the most height to get it up to bench top height on the table and clear the bed. I pulled that little divider out because what I've decided to do is put a full height divider instead of that little half height one I had. I'm going to put a full height one in directly behind the table leg, and I'll screw that to the floor and to the vertical, and that'll brace that the front part here of the cabinet, just to stiffen it up and brace it. Because it's going to be a fair bit, especially if someone out here leans on the table, it's obviously going to have a fair bit of force trying to twist it and break it. So,
not mentioning any names.
Yeah, kids.
James.
Kids. So anyway, a bit of a rethink. I'm gonna chisel out or notch out a bit of ply up under here to be able to fit a nut on the back of the bolt, and then make another divider to go in there that goes full height. Screw that all in. It should be rock solid, is the plan. But yeah, it's just one of those jobs. I thought I was nearly done, and then just almost, well, not even back to square one, back to before square one, whatever that is. Anyway, here's what it is. The joys of doing little mods and improvements. It'll be worth it in the end, but yeah, a bit annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good enough for now.
You never do things the easy way, and you never take shortcuts.
Good enough for now. It needs those nuts. I'm going to change over to nylock nuts just so they don't vibrate loose, and I've got to get washers onto the top ones. But yeah, I've got to cut down a couple of washers so they fit on the flat.
For anyone who wants to know how our kids go at night time, how do we get stuff done at night time? Our kids just sleep through a whole lot of stuff. Like, we've had the lights on, drills, what's that thing called? A renovator saw going. They just sleep, which is bloody brilliant for us.
I don't always go to sleep easily, but once they're asleep, we're pretty solid.
Look at you, look at you. Oh, you've already sewn the top on. When did you do that?
Earlier. That's what I do while you were posting on Instagram or something. No, I think you were putting the kids to bed. While you put the kids to bed, I screwed. So what we did is we didn't actually, lengthways, we didn't mount it in the middle. So what that means is it's offset. So that distance there to that changes. So that got further away. And that got closer. And yeah. Probably about that.
That's awesome.
So that's good bench top height. There's a bit of extra bench space. We can stand up and use it, and it will swing over our bed as well. Make a bit
awesome.
We can do breakfast in bed. And then obviously normally it's going to be down for eating. Like that. And then, as we said, the best part about it is you can take the whole thing out when you don't want to use it, but I reckon that works pretty well, eh? And you push it right over like that.
And look at this, look at all this space.
Without even taking it out, it doesn't hang over the floor space at all, and keeps this clear and open. Yeah, so you can see here, it's pretty comfortable distance for me here, but if I want to, that makes it further away. So if we need to tuck it in for the kids, we can. Yeah. And so much easier to get in and out. You can push the whole table out of the way.
Alright.
Just sit right down in the middle for those of us that have to sit in the middle and the kids, and yeah. All right, so as you can see, the install didn't go 100% smoothly, but we got there in the end. So how's it been going for the last couple of months? Well, it's really, really good. It has really changed the game as far as use of this space in the van, particularly in a smaller van like ours. But I honestly think, how many people have a huge van out there? Let's be honest, this space is always relatively tight. One of the biggest advantages that we like about it is that when we're not using it, it goes right over the couch like this and frees up this floor space, as we showed in that video. That is by far one of the biggest pros. The other one is, like we said in that video as well, being able to get into our seat like this and being able to get it out of the way. You don't have to play that game of all shuffling around the seat to be able to get into your place at the table. One thing I would keep in mind if you are going to do this install, if you just point the camera down here, Dale, is just one thing I would be aware of if you're going to do your own install is the distance between the leg here and the bed there at the end. Just make sure that space is big enough for a person to sit, because that way one person can sit there, and if you're like us and have 4 people around it, the other 3 can sit this side of the leg. If that leg was any closer to the bed, it starts to get a bit too tight for a person to sit there, which then it becomes pretty impractical. So just something to keep your eye out for there. So yeah, basically we love it. We think it's really good. Being able to remove it completely is another huge pro. So whether that's to store it up on the bed, put it outside and use it outside, like we said, we might look at some sort of leg setup to be able to use it out there and just free up this space in the middle, particularly on like a wet weather day and things like that when the weather's not great and we're all inside and the kids want to play, it just frees up so much floor space. It's really, really good. So what are the cons? What are the downsides? Well, one of them is it's not as stable or as sturdy as the old telescopic leg. It does have a little bit of wobble in it, a little bit of movement, as you can see. It's not gonna, that's just because of the mechanism, because there's so many joins in the arm, they've all got a little bit of play and that adds up to a little bit of wobble. But it is very, very strong. Like I don't have any worries about it breaking or anything like that. I think it'd be just as strong as those pedestal telescopic table legs. But there is that little bit of wobble, which, yeah, it can be annoying sometimes when you're doing something at either end of the table, you can get bumped or knocked a bit more easily. Other downsides is that it can't stay here when we travel. So it's just one extra thing we have to do. It's not a huge one, is flip this over and take the tabletop off and we just flip it over and put it on our bed for travel. It's a bit of a downside, but to be honest, with the old telescopic one, we had to push it down for travel anyway. So you're doing something anyway either way. That's not a huge one at all. So the only other downside really is that you can't obviously make this into a bed. So if that's something you want to be able to do, you probably need to stick with the telescopic table leg. But if you're like us and you never did that or never plan to do that anyway, or don't ever need that functionality, then you're not going to miss it, and we certainly don't. The only other thing, if you've got really small kids, or even kids like James is 5, and they just, when they're eating, they tend to lean against the table a bit or use it as a bit of a prop to hold themselves up, and they can tend to push the table away from themselves. He's never fallen off, gone that far, but if you're all 4 of you are eating and the table's gradually moving as you're eating your dinner, it can be a bit off-putting. So it's just taking the kids a little bit to get used to, but on the plus side, it's a lot easier to get the table in a really good position for the kids to be able to eat. It can be really tight here and nice and close for James. Say if he was sitting here, if I'm at that end of the table, it can be a bit of an angle, so it's not squashing me in too tightly. So just that flexibility we think is well worth it. I think if we had our time again, we'd go the exact same option again. We think it's worth all those compromises. I'd love to see someone design the exact same sort of idea in something that was a bit sturdier, because I think this is about as big a table as you'd want to put on this size on this leg, just the way it's made. I don't think it's made for big tables, just in that movement in the joints, like I said. But yeah, I think there's definitely an opportunity to build something even better than this, but using this same concept. So I'll leave a link, like I said, all these products that we've talked about in this video, I'll leave a link in the description below as to where we got this one. I think we bought it from Outback Equipment. So yeah, I'll leave a link to that one. You can jump over there and check it out and grab that one. Unfortunately, I don't have a discount for you guys on this one, sorry. But yeah, they're not that, I think they're only a few $100 anyway, so not too bad. All right, well, that's our table leg installed. Let's jump outside and I'll show you our security upgrade we did with the one key system. All right, so next up, we're going to run you through the upgrade we made to the security on the outside of the van, which was changing all our latches over to the one key system. So I'll shoot you over to when we installed it a couple of weeks ago, and then we'll come back and I'll let you know what we think of it after having used it for the last couple of weeks. All right, we're going to do a little upgrade to the van. So we've ordered the one key Caravan system, which is this awesome little business on the New South Wales coast near Port Stephens. Dave and Jamie. Dave's a locksmith by trade, and he saw an opportunity to build a business in the caravan industry, and it's a little bit of innovation, which we absolutely love, as you guys know, to eliminate this problem, which is what most caravanners face, which is a whole bunch of keys to do all the different locks around the caravan. So what we're going to be doing today is changing over these latches on our hatches. So changing these locks so that they're all on the one key, but also they're black, which is awesome. So instead of having these chrome ones, I've already done a couple. So instead of doing these chrome locks like this, we're going to be changing over to the one key black latches, which is going to look way better, and obviously got one key for all our latches. Now, eventually, we'll be able to do our main door, the front toolbox locks, as well as we've got some padlocks from them that are on the same key. So eventually we'll be able to do the entire Caravan with literally one key, which is unreal for simplicity and ease of use day to day. So it's a pretty new business. They only started up about a year ago. We just met them at the Brisbane show. Absolutely lovely people, and they're expanding the business throughout this year and into next to cover off more locks. There's a lot of locks. It's kind of like us with our window protection with Bushwrapz, trying to cover all the different brands of windows. These guys are trying to cover off all the different types of locks out there. So one of the big advantages, apart from being just one key, is that there's a lot more combinations in their locks. So there's thousands of combinations in their locks, which compared to the factory ones, there's a lot fewer combinations in these. So just as far as security goes, there's no chance that anyone's going to have the same key to your locks, which is a big pro as well for that security side of things. So a heap of really good advantages. Full disclosure, One Key just wanted to send it to us. We reached out to them and said we'd love to try out your locks, and they offered to send them to us for free, which is awesome because we are a big fan of them. We would have bought them anyway, but as always, we like to disclose what our relationship with One Key is. But like I said, small family business and absolutely lovely people. So really happy to give them a shout out and support their business as well. So we're going to go ahead and install this one on the entertainment hatch. I've already done a couple on the front tunnel boot hatches, and I've got the couple to do on the other side. Really, really simple to install. Then it's just a little bit fiddling around to get the compression set right and everything like that. So I'm going to actually get Liz to do it, and I'm going to talk her through it, which I thought would be a cool way to show you guys, what it's like when you're attempting it for the first time. And yeah, let's go ahead and get them installed.
I think this would be really nice because you're quite handy on the tools and you often make things look easy. I have no skills, so let's see how it goes.
Okay, so tools you need, all you need is a Phillips head screwdriver and a 12mm spanner. So first thing you want to do is unscrew that nut off the...
This one?
Yep, because the way they're packaged so that this just fits nicely, whereas we want it to look like this. So we've got to just unscrew it and flip this tab around.
Okay. So I take this bit off.
So it's handy to take one off and then you use that as a demo to know how to configure it.
The spanner off? What is this
Take
bit?
the little washer off.
Washer, that's the bit. Take that
off, spin it around. So you got to flip it over and spin it around. That's it. And then put the washer back on and put your nut back on. Not all the way, just a few turns.
Done.
And that's ready to install. We're going to do the entertainment hatch latch. So we're going to take this one off and change it over. So screwdriver, you're just going to unscrew that screw and put a finger on the latch on the other side as you do it.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Something like that. That's it. Now the latch will just fall out the other side.
Yeah, so this, you ready?
Yep.
Yeah, and then just got to poke that through. Yep.
Yep, done.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's literally that easy.
Righto, and then we get this good one.
Yep. Oh, sorry, you had to take, mistake. You got to take that off first. Okay. So what we missed, just to show everyone, what we missed there is we didn't take this off the new latch before we tried to put it through. So unscrew again.
Get you out of the way so you don't get mixed up.
Should be able to do it with your fingers.
Yeah, I think it will be easier to do with my fingers just quietly and this bracket bit as well.
Yep. Now you poke that through your hole.
Poke this bit through. Just make sure that seals nice and flat. Yeah, and then what? Then this back on?
Yep, put your clamp back on and you screw in.
How do we get the clamp on?
Yeah, you just sit there, spin it around, it's back to front.
Okay.
So you gotta make sure you gotta make sure the screw hole lines up with that.
Okay.
Oh.
Done? Is that done?
Yep.
Yay! Look at that.
So now all we've got to do is adjust. So now we just got to adjust the this tab to get it in the right spot. So you got a nut at the back and a nut at the front. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab the one we took off, and just to give us an idea of roughly how far out it's got to be.
Yeah.
So we want it so that there's a little bit of thread. We're gonna wind that out, and then we're gonna just do a test. So
like that?
Yep. So just finger tight to do a test. Push it. You got to push this one fairly firmly. The bottomless. Yep. Yep.
I'm actually pretty happy with that. Are you happy with that?
Yes, pull it out. Yep. Job done.
Oh, I feel so proud of myself.
Simple as that.
Oh, how easy.
Yeah, so as easy as that, that's all done now. You just takes a little bit of just testing to make sure that you've got the tab in the right spot, just so that your compression's set correctly. That one's pretty close now. And then once we've got that set correctly, you just need your 12mm spanner, and you just go in and just nip this up. Just tighten this lock nut up that's at the back. So I'm just nipping up that nut with the spanner to make sure that's nice and tight.
I could do that.
Yep. Job done. Easy as that. So we're going to go around and do them all now. We've done, as I said, already done a couple on the front. We'll do the ones on the other side, and one key for all our hatches. Alrighty, so as you can see, a really straightforward and easy install. I think it's just one of the best upgrades you can do for your caravan. Not only, like we said in that video, for just minimizing the number of keys you have, but improving your security significantly. If you have a look, if you've got the old chrome latches like we had on ours, you've probably got a C21 key or a D34 or something like that. I challenge you to go next time you're in a caravan park or a campground, go and see how many other people in the campground have got this exact same key as you. You'd be scarily surprised how many caravan latches on these external hatches have the exact same key. Now we've got the confidence knowing that, that obviously we've got an individual key that no one else has got. So obviously massive improvement there in security. We also love the black look. I mean, particularly with this van, the dark color scheme we've gone with, the black just looks so much better than that chrome. And we can't wait to expand the one key system throughout the van as they get more and more products available. So as their business grows and develops, they're obviously, like we said in that video, going to have more and more available. Depending on what brand of door you've got and front hatches and things like that, you may already be able to do a full one key system on your van. If not, you can do exactly what we're doing, which is just buy the products as they're available. The one key guys will keep you informed as more and more products become available that are going to suit your van. If you are interested in getting the one key system, hit the guys up, let them know that you saw this video, and they'll definitely look after you on price. Get a quote from them to do your van and find out which locks and latches you can get changed over on your van. Can't recommend it highly enough. It's just one of those things that just makes life so much simpler, and you appreciate every time you grab your set of keys and there's just far fewer keys on there, and knowing that when you lock it up and leave your van behind, it's actually locked and no one else is going to be able to get into it. Alrighty guys, well that wraps this one up. Let us know what you thought of these upgrades. We think they're no-brainer upgrades to your caravan. As we said, we've done a few others as well. We've done the stone stopper now, we've got a savvy level, we've done the cowfish internet system, a whole range of different upgrades. We've got a new water filtration system, and obviously the desal coming up soon as well. Let us know, what are you keen to see? What would you like us to review? What do you want to know about? But as far as these three, I think these three upgrades, that Bushwrapz PPF kit, absolute no-brainer for protecting your asset. The Swingaway Table Leg just makes interior space so much better in the van. Yes, there's a few downsides to it, but we just think it's far outweighed by the convenience of having the Swingaway Table Leg and security of your van, being able to have it locked up, minimising those keys, and getting those black latches as well to make your van look sexy on the outside. Why wouldn't you? I think it's a great idea. So let us know what you think of all those. Can't wait to see you guys next week. Until the next one, we'll see you guys next Sunday. So, as well as the, I don't know where I was going to go with that. You know, a couple of centimetres makes all the difference, darling.
Pack up all this bit.
Yeah. Just clean up this. Oh, my back's really getting old.
I have something special for you. Are you ready?
Oh, ramen
the last
raisin
two
chocolate.
pieces of ramen raisin chocolate.
Banana fruit.
I even gave you the big piece because
Ramen raisin old gold is the best chocolate in the world. It's terrible light.
I know, it's all grainy. Oh, magic.
Magic.
It's just one. Oh god, look at that hair. Sorry.
I've lost my train of thought now. What was I talking about?